All right, little girl, you're following me already. That's good. Bonjour, bonjour. I don't know. My French is coming out this morning. Whew, I don't know how I feel. Oh, I have the AC on. Must be a hot flash. This little lady told me that it doesn't matter how old you are, you're never out of those hot flashes. And I know that sometimes it feels like I'm having one. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Sorry. All right. Until people show up, I'm trying to get a heads up on this biscotti because I look at the timing, it's gonna take a little while, so we're gonna get started. 2 cups of all-purpose flour sifted, already sifted. 3/4 cup sugar. And buenos dias, buenos dias. I'm just getting started early because the biscotti, in terms of timing, it might take a little while. And 1.5 teaspoon baking powder. How's everybody doing? Bonjour, good morning. Mac Bond, hola. Latoya, ¿cómo está? Ah, Denita, buenos días, amiga. 1.5 teaspoon baking powder. And I always have put a little salt. We call it pinch. All right. Oh, it says 1/4 teaspoon. Maybe a little bit more. All right. So we're gonna mix that together. Those are our dry ingredients. The little girl is working today. I know yesterday Denita asked me, how do you feel about this little thing following you around? I say, it feels spooky. Okay, so now the eggs, we're gonna beat the butter first. It calls for 1 stick of butter, but I don't have a stick. I have a block, so I'm gonna eyeball, but it's a stick. Probably a little more. I was letting it cool a little bit, and I just put it in the microwave for a little bit, but that's okay. All right. When you are baking, you always beat your butter first, okay? Beat it until it feels like creamy. So it has to be soft. I believe that I should have beat up the sugar in here. So I'm gonna have to get my I'm gonna have to get my flour again. 3/4 cups sugar. That's what happens when you're live. Three-quarter cup. Yeah, because you always beat the butter with the sugar. Uh-oh. So what am I gonna do with my flour there? Okay, I gotta think. That's my almond, that's toasting. Just let it burn. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to get another get my flour and baking powder. This one has sugar, so I'll have to think of something else to do with it since I messed up. All right, 2 cups of flour. And I was trying to get ahead, and there you go. How's everyone? Uh-oh. Come on, little girl. She stopped. I tell you. What you cooking? Good looking. Look at that. Okay. I need to find a name for this gimbal. It says, no mas. I'm making biscotti today, but I already messed up because I put the sugar in my flour. So now I have to start over. Which is what I remember my chef used to say, Maggie, start over. You messed this up. You burned the onions or whatever. We're making biscotti, and then I think I'm going to do a plate, like a little breakfast, eggs, because I'm not doing bacon, I'm not eating bacon. And I got some Swiss chard. We're going to do, I have some pineapple, and that's how I cook. Whatever is in the fridge, that's what we use. Okay? So, all right. Now the baking powder. Should I put it up here? Yeah. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. All right. Now we're ready. How you guys doing today? Now I need to add some lemon zest. When you're doing biscotti, it's very important that you put some lemon zest. And like I was saying, when I first came to Panama, it took me about a month to find lemon because some stores have it, not all the stores have it, but they have a lot of lime. One whole teaspoon lemon, grated lemon zest. Love lemon zest. All right, I think that should do it. All right. I'm gonna put some salt in here. 1/4 teaspoon salt. I had it in the other one that I messed up. Yeah, right. Your crush, All right, the eggs, I had them out. You always cook with room temperature eggs, right? And try to always add your eggs one at a time. You don't need to put all your eggs in at one time. Time for the flour mixture. You never kind of put them all at one time. You kind of break it up. I keep saying I need to find me, well, now with this whole thing about it, I want you to use aluminum. I need to get a ceramic bowl, I guess. Put the rest. I tell you, I do miss my kitchen stuff. You do. There we go. Okay. All right. I remember when I was trying to get rid of my my kitchen stuff, that it took me years to collect. Whew, that hurt. All right. So now you have a nice mix. I always like to put in the almonds. You know, biscotti is cookie in Italian. And yesterday I was watching, what is this woman? She used to be on the Food Channel. She's Italian, and she says, she was standing in a store, and she said, everything in this store is biscotti. Biscotti, so they have all kinds of biscotti. So I'm just grating a little bit of nutmeg, just because I'm in love with nutmeg. Not a lot. You already have the lemon and the nutmeg, and now you're putting the almonds. Oh, it's gonna be yummy. Now, when I make biscotti around the holidays, and that's what I gift people, I put them in bag and I give to my friends and my neighbors. I used to put, I would put cranberries, dry cranberries in there. I think I have a little bit of pistachio. I'm gonna add that in there. Pistachio, cranberry, and almonds. Oh, it's really nice. For the holidays. I have to say my favorite nut is pistachio. I love peanuts as well, but I think I have a special love in my heart for pistachio. I do. All right, so now I have the oven on already. I'm gonna form this into a loaf and then bake it. Yep. So I'm gonna line this with some parchment paper. Yep. It looks so pretty. You know why? This friend of mine was going home for, she's gonna be gone for a couple of months, and she was trying to get rid of stuff in her fridge, and she gave me some eggs, and those eggs, the yolk was so beautifully orangey, and I was like, oh, because you know how sometimes the loaf, the eggs that we buy at home in the States, and they're like really nice and pale. Hers was like bright and orange. So you want to form this into like a log. That's what you want to do. Because when you cut the biscotti, you're going to cut this way. So you have to make sure you put it in the right format. Okay? And I used to make badges of this. And then what we do, you can melt some chocolate when it's cold. And then you could just try the chocolate, or you could just have the chocolate in a little container and just dip it in. I'm telling you. Now, when I make biscotti, I do what we call a double bake. So I'm going to bake this. Then I'm going to put it in the fridge to let it cool. If I had time, I would just sit it out. And then I'm going to slice it and then bake it again, just to make sure everything stays nice and crispy. All right? This is your biscotti. You're going to bake it like this. Okay, what's happening there? How come I have one? Huh. That's interesting. All right. So now, what's my timer? We're gonna put it in here for like 30 to 40 minutes, but I'm gonna keep looking at it to make sure it doesn't burn, okay? Because remember, this is a German type of oven, and I have to always in my head do the calculation because everything here is in centigrade. It's not in Fahrenheit. So now we have our biscotti in. So I thought for breakfast, because I'm trying to not go crazy, you know, because of course I'm not buying bacon or sausage or anything like that. So we're gonna cook one egg. We're gonna put on the side. I have some Swiss chard. So we're gonna cook some Swiss chard just for contrast. Remember, I always talk about when you are cooking, you want to have contrast on your plate because you eat with your eyes. Hello. Hola, Greta. I watched you interview with Maggie, your story. Yeah, that Greta she's the GOAT. Everybody's talking about that interview. Oh my goodness, Greta. Do you have a fan? I understand it's really hot in Merida. You wanted the heat. You know, people here have fans in every room. I don't. That's why when they were changing the AC here, I was dying. But my landlord bought me an AC unit. Oh, yes, I heard about those tornadoes. Oh my gosh. Where are you, NF Gen for Life? Where are you? What state? Brooklyn, hola. Yes, we found Swiss chard. Yes, I was excited. So again, you have to know where to go. That's the way it works here. In Alabama, oh my goodness. There is a show I was watching yesterday. They talk about all the bad storms and they showed hurricanes and tornadoes and tsunamis and whew, that's scary. Yes, Merida is always hot. But somebody said it's a different kind of hot. This guy, I forgot what his channel is. He talks a lot about that. And he said you have got to have a pool wherever you go. Thank you so much. But today we're going easy. We're doing something a little bit different. So next week, someone asked me to make jerk chicken. Maybe I will. Even though the best jerk chicken is usually on the grill. Once you marinate it, the best way to cook it is on the grill. Hola, Rebecca. Shout out to Rebecca. Do you have a channel, Rebecca? 1276. Do you have a channel? 2 weeks ago, we had a tornado, and if we got another tornado, oh my gosh. You know, I remember the year we had 4 hurricanes in Florida. I don't know if you remember. I was there. All 4. We had Donna and like 3 other ones. It's crazy. But you know what? It's everywhere. That earthquake in Thailand, and you know, it's crazy. Really. Well, we don't have hurricanes here, but we do get some heavy rain sometimes, and it gets flooded, and you know, people in the interior, mudslides, and it messes up the crop. It's just everywhere. It's everywhere. Storming really bad already. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Greta has a channel. She didn't tell me. Okay. All right, guys, now that this thing is cooking, we have some time for questions. If you have any questions, okay? You subscribe to who? To Greta's or my channel? Well, thank you for both of us. We appreciate it. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, we need more kumbaya moments because this stuff is crazy. How's everybody doing? Oh, not yet, Greta. You're working on it, right? I don't know. Somebody keeps saying, love your channel, Greta. Oh, is it a troll? How long have you been living in the house? Which house? Good, Greta, good. You're going to be excellent. Everybody's waiting. My house, where I'm at now, It's been about a year, year and a half. Okay, Rebecca, I think you're a troll. My favorite color. Mm. I'm doing well, Danita. Long time no see. We had lunch yesterday. I'm doing good. You know, just you got to talk to yourself a lot these days. You moving to Florida? I didn't know anybody was moving to Florida. Bye bye, Greta. What is this? You know what? We have to focus on being grateful, right? Because if we don't, we're going to allow everything else to, yes. I took one troll out. He was just talking all kind of craziness. I took him out. I know. I don't know how they find me. I know, right? So early in the morning, just nothing to do. Yes, it was nice meeting you too, Danita. I mean, it was so nice. It's always good to put faces with people's names. Like she said, you know, I have to say now, she's real. That's what I told that lady. I'm like, yep. I did get somebody out. No, it's not you, NF. It was somebody else. He was talking to Greta, like, you know, bye, Greta. I love your channel, Greta. And I'm like, you are a troll. Yeah. Hola, Eyes Wise 999. People come up with really interesting names for themselves. Good morning. I'm grateful that I woke up and got up. Oh, hola, Miss Deborah. How are you over there in Cali? Yes. It's really, I know, right? I mean, in this day and age, people have time to troll. I mean, it's insane. And let's not let it get to us, right? That's what I don't do. There is I was watching, I think I was telling someone, this couple has a channel in Ghana, a place that I visited, and they really are doing a good job chronicling their move from Texas to Ghana. It's a family of 4, 2 boys. You know, they were concerned about raising their kids in those environments, as we know. And then it's been, I think, 4 or 5 years, and they've done really well. And, you know, the lady works online. The guy, you know, they're trying to get business going. They're doing tours, and they got Airbnbs going. So they're busy, and they have 2 boys, 2 active boys. So they got some help for the house, housekeeping help. That some ladies here who are retired got housekeepers. So some troll went on their channel and just was bad mouthing. Oh, how come you have housekeepers, clean your own house like you did in the U.S. You're the new colonizers. And I'm like, people are so miserable, and they want to spread that misery. And the poor couple came up and trying to talk about why. I'm like, why are you even addressing it? Right? Right, remember that? And now they've been there 4 or 5 years, and they've adjusted. They love it. And the gentleman, what is it, Ayo and Tony. Tony's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going back. You know, and she's always a little bit unsettled because she misses some of the conveniences. But, you know, they're making it work. And for somebody to go in there calling them colonizers because they hire a housekeeper, I mean, so I told her, I'm like, why are you even addressing that issue? I don't. I really don't. When somebody comes on my timeline and they write something ugly, I remove it. I don't give it breath because you're giving oxygen to the, you know, to whatever is going on with them. And I'm like, you want to be miserable? You're going to be on your own. I don't allow it. I don't address it. So if there's a troll, I'm just going to remove them. That's all. George. Good morning. I'm good here in Maryland. Good. My daughter's in Maryland too. Just dealing with the uncertainty of everything. I'm telling you, I am ooh, it smells so good. Let me turn the oven down a little bit. I'm a very positive person usually. Australia, I hope you're not trolling. Texas, hola Marjorie. And I have to say, I came back early March, and it was like maybe the last week in March, you know, now that I have my house on the market, that it's not moving, nothing's happening, and no one knows what's going on, talking about recession. It did get to me a little bit. It really did. And I have to work on myself. And I posted a short where I said, you know, I was in a funk for a week. And I'm like, you know, I got to talk to myself and say, hey, girl, you have got to snap out of it, okay? Because a lot of this stuff is out of your control. So you do what you can do, encouraging people, encourage yourself, and steadfast, because, you know, I mean, these are interesting times. And then again, you got to talk to yourself saying, we've always had stuff going on. And I keep saying stuff. I want to say something different, but you know, I'm not going to. But we've always had stuff. We've always had to deal with stuff. It's just another wave. Even though this is really challenging and it's coming at us so fast. But what are we going to do? We have to stand steadfast and do what we can. We don't know what the future holds. And you know, sometimes when you want to give up and you say this will never or always, I try not to use those words, because many times in my mind, I'm like, oh, that will never happen. And then something switches, something happens. So I don't know. I always try to keep that little hope burning, because somebody else is in charge and somebody knows what to do, even though I don't, right? Favorite verse is John 3:16. Yep, it's a great one. Hey, Miss Bond, MSK Bound. Which one were you? Sitting next to Danita or the lady next to me from Jamaica? Excellent advice. Oh. And I always say, I don't know how people go through things like what we're going through right now without faith. If you don't have an anchor, let me tell you, I don't know how. And that's why we have the, you know, the spirituals, right? Our forefathers, when they were being beaten and all the stuff that was happening to them, they hung on to hope. And that's why we're still here. So, all right, let me turn this. It looks like it's gonna be done before I know it. Ooh, another steam facial. Oh, that looks so pretty. Don't burn my hand. No, ma'am. You see how good it looks already? I'm just turning it around. Biscotti is one of the easiest things that you can make. And if you like coffee or tea, this is a great thing to have with your coffee or tea. And of course, you know, 3/4 cup of sugar, some white flour. So you don't want to cook that too often. But once in a while, you can treat yourself. There were millions of people out protesting. Yes, I saw that. Oh, next to Danita, yes, the healthy person with the salad. Hola. It looks good, doesn't it? It's not ready yet. So once it's cooked, I'm going to put it in the fridge. It needs to cool before I can slice it. And then I have to put it back in there to firm it. And then in the meantime, we can do the Swiss chard. And I'm going to melt some chocolate. I got some chocolate here now. I'm not going to vouch for the quality. You got your coffee? Good, Marcia. And I got my frother ready. I'm going to try to make a latte today. Where's my frother? I had to put some batteries in it today. If you buy one of these things, you put a little cream or milk with your coffee, and then you froth it, and it gives you that foam, like a latte. I like to do that. And then you just sprinkle some cinnamon on top. Yeah, make it fancy. And those kind of things, when you do, it kind of lifts your spirit. Whatever you need to do to lift your spirit up, do it. Vrai says Biscotti. Oh, sont délicieux avec du café au lait ou du thé. Vraiment. Très bien, Alain. Going to fix my tea. Yeah, get your tea or your coffee so that when we're ready, we can eat together. Yes, George, get one of these. And they're really cheap. I think I saw this at Walmart, you know. I hear what's happening to Target, but we still go into Walmart, I guess. We don't have Walmart here, so I'm not guilty. So yes, I do that. What else is going on? We had protests here in Panama. The teachers, docente, they call teachers here. They were protesting the changes to the Social Security system. Here in, yes, you probably can get it. It's really cheap, Greta. It says frothy, they call it. It's just to create the froth for your latte. Now, when the new president came in June of last year, apparently the Social Security system here was pretty bankrupt. There was no money. And the Social Security system is a little bit different. Good morning, Sharon. Than what we know as Social Security. Our Social Security, they're responsible for our checks and people with disability, you know, your benefits. But here they also manage the public hospitals and the public clinics. So if you come to Panama and you hear CSS, that means Caja de Seguro Social. That's the Social Security Administration. And then when you see the polyclinics in the interior, they have CSS hospitals here in the city. And of course, people say, well, you don't want to go to those, but I guess if you're in need, you will. And they take care of the general population. And if you end up going to those hospitals, you get charged very little money. People being in there for days, and then the bill comes to like $50. So that money, those services are coming from that CSS, right? So, and they also, when you go to a polyclinic, they have pharmacies on site. If the doctor gives you a prescription, you get your medications right there at a very minimal cost. And the retired people get their pensions from that department. And they also get all their medications through there. So what happens? Because the funding is not there, medications, people wouldn't be getting their medications. They're always complaining. In those public hospitals, people are on dialysis sometimes. The machines aren't working. So it gets pretty, you know, it's really hard. So the president, there's the assembly, you know, here in Panama. The General Assembly is like your Congress in the US, and they represent all the different parties. They have 7 political parties here in Panama. Imagine trying to get something done and everybody has, you know, different ideas. So it took months of negotiations for them to come up with a plan to revamp the, you know, the Social Security system. And one other thing that they had started to propose was increasing the retirement age. That means they would be paying people out less. Hola. So that didn't go over very well. I don't remember what the age from 65 to whatever, but people were up in arms. We don't want it to change. Nobody ever wants that. But with us in the US, we don't protest, do we? We just kind of roll over and take everything, because now your retirement age keeps moving and going. We haven't said anything, have we? We go on social media and we yap, but we don't do anything about it. So the government backed down, right? They said, okay, we're not going to raise the retirement age. So I thought everything was good, but apparently there are some other changes, and I'm not privy. I really haven't looked into what specifically the teachers are protesting about. But there's something in that law, in the revamp, whatever they did to the system, and I think it's more about benefits in the future, you know, their retirement. That's why they're protesting. So now that's creating a lot of difficulties, you know, for kids to go to school. In some provinces, we have 10 provinces. If you watch my last video, I explained that to you. There are 10 provinces here. Some provinces are more active in the protest than others. And of course, people are worried. The Minister of Education is worried about the kids missing out on their education. So, but it hasn't been, hello Tracy, it hasn't been violent. There was one protest in Cologne when they first started, like a week ago, where they got into a tiff with the police and they had to use tear gas, and some people, it looked like some people, one person was arrested, and this lady, I saw her being slammed on the ground, and I was worried that she might hurt herself. But here in Panama, it's in the city, it's just, they protest, they have music going on, they have their signs. And what happens is just it disrupts traffic, right? Because you have to reroute yourself, and so that's why I only use the metro. I'm like, you don't want to get on the bus when they have protests. And they have some sites in the city that always, they're always there. Iglesia del Carmen, Balboa Avenue in front of the hospital, and Centenario, GL Faro, they have certain hot spots, and the police are always there, but it's not violent. But you don't want to be around that. So we always tell the ladies, if they have protests, try to keep yourself at home. Okay? All right, let's see. Woo. Well, that didn't take a long time. Where? So we shall see if it's ready. Oh, looks amazing. Woohoo! All right, let me see. All right, I think I'm gonna put it in the fridge for like 5 minutes, and then cut it, and then put it back for another 5, and then we'll be moving along. Not bad. Not bad, Maggie. Uh-oh. How am I gonna put this? All right. I gotta take my veggies out. If I look in my fridge and I don't see greens, I'm upset. Because I have to have greens. All right. All right, I put a wet towel in there. Hopefully nothing is gonna, melt down. All right. Okay. So 5 minutes in there, then we cut it, then we put it back in. All right, now I think we can probably, not the chocolate, but we can start working on the Swiss chard. But yeah, Panama has a culture of protest. If people are not happy with something, they'll take to the streets. And they have, certain communities have reasons. Places don't have water. Some have electricity issues. It's a developing country, and we have some issues of access, like everywhere, right? So, all right, let's see. Oh, I have 1 egg left, which is good because I shouldn't be eating too many eggs anyway. So 1 egg, Swiss chard. We didn't put any cinnamon and stuff in this. This recipe didn't call for that. Oh, I have banana. We're gonna do a pretty plate. Have no fear. I'm all about presentation. But the canal situation is still something that's of concern. We don't know. I think I read that the minister of the defense minister, I think, from the U.S. is going to be in Panama this week. I know it was quick, wasn't it, Greta? So you have no excuse. You can make that. Well, you know what? Whoever said that, no food without vegetable, that's my mantra. I always have to have veggies. Always. But I did tell you, I was so shocked when I found the Swiss chard. Look at the price. 96 cents for this. I know. I know. I'm asking, maybe they don't know what it is. That's why it's so cheap. What do you mean 96 cents? And of course I had to buy it. I'm like, what? Oh yeah. All right, so we don't need, well, I can leave some for later. One thing about veggies and stuff here in Panama, they go bad really, really fast because, you know, it's not sprayed with all kinds of things to preserve it. So if you have broccoli, lasts a little bit longer, but if you have spinach and celery and stuff like that, plan to use them rather quickly. Yeah. J'ai entendu une nouvelle que les États-Unis ont repris le canal. Non, c'est pas vrai. C'est pas vrai. You know, a lot of times people give false information. Yes, they want to take control of the canal, but they have different ports and they were going to sell to other ports, take them away from the Chinese companies to another company, but that sale is on hold. So everything is like in limbo right now. We don't know. Why does it cost less to ride the metro than to buy food? You know what? I think what I realized is that the government here is committed to helping the general population. So because not many, you know, a lot of people don't have cars and they rely on the public transport to go from point A to point B. So if you charge them a lot of money, then that's money you're going to take away from them, and they don't make that much money. So I think that's why, you know, you ride the bus for 25 cents and 35 cents for the metro. I think it's amazing. And even us as expats here, apparently you can still get a pension at a discount. You get a special card. I haven't done that. And sometimes people say if you ride less than so many miles, as you leave, they scan the card again for that the next ride is free. I don't ever bother with that. Well, food, the cost of food is not a Panama thing. It's something that's happening all over. When I was in the US, let me tell you, food was expensive. I saw that. And I'm like, oh yes. But I went to Aldi and it was a lot more affordable. And this morning, I was watching something on, I don't remember where, they're talking about what we don't know, that so many companies here in the US are owned by foreign companies. And I think Aldi, they say Aldi is British. So a lot of companies that are here that we think are American owned are not. When I say here, I mean in the US. They're not. So, you know. And I think the whole thing about this administration is bringing businesses back to the US. I mean, in theory, it would make sense, but people are losing their job left and right, and that's kind of hard. That's very hard. And I think for the Swiss chard, because it's breakfast, I'm not gonna even putting garlic and stuff in it. I'm just gonna go a little bit of salt and pepper and a squeeze of lemon juice. That's it. Okay. I don't know. I just don't want garlic with my breakfast. Foodie here in Baltimore. Yeah, you have to. You have to. I mean, I spend, I'd say about $50 a week on food, but I don't buy any meat. And if I do decide to go and buy something, that's extra out of the budget. But in the US, you know, eggs, the price of eggs, everything was expensive. Now, I live in Central Florida, and I used to live in a town where Publix that's a great retailer, you know, of food in Central Florida. And that's the home of Publix. And that was my store. I love that store. But like 2 or 3 years before I left, I had to stop going there. I could not afford to go buy everything I needed in the US. So sometimes here, when we have to go to 3 different places to find our food, we complain. But I have to do that in the US. There's some things I got at Walmart. There's some things, you know, Publix, I only went if I was going home and I needed 1 or 2 items. But for my weekly, I could not afford it. And I'm a person that eats a lot of fruits and vegetables, and I don't buy a lot of packaged stuff, you know, drinks and meats. But I look at those prices and I'm like, wow, it's been 2 years since I left and the prices have almost doubled. And I'm like, how do people on minimum wage make it work? I'll tell you a story. When I finished culinary school and I needed to work at a restaurant to get some experience, so I got a job downtown Disney at a restaurant called Raglan Road, which is an Irish pub, and the food is pretty good. So I go there and I think the chef, of course, I'm straight out of school, so I'm considered a rookie. And I think he paid me $8.75 an hour or something. And I'm like, okay, but you know, I wasn't depending on that. That was for me to learn. But they work you like a dog, okay? There was no time to be chit-chatting. The chef is always looking to see where you are in terms of your breaks and stuff like that. And when they put me on the meat station, I mean, it was speed, you know, in a commercial kitchen. And when my daughter was about to go to college and something happened, you know, I had to quit the job, of course, because I was only there to get the experience. So when I went to the chef, he was making $100K plus. And I said, I'm leaving. He's like, oh, why are you leaving? I said, well, my daughter's going to college. I have expenses. So I said, chef, you realize the money you paying me, when I went to get my check, it was $200 and some a week. I said, you know, your people who are working for you are working 2-3 jobs just to make it. He's like, oh, really? And I'm like, come on. Don't tell me you don't know that, okay? Because then I get upset. You can't be that gullible to think that you're paying somebody minimum wage and you think they're going to be able to make it. So if you are somebody making minimum wage right now in the US and you have a family, there's no way you're going to be able to make it. You have to have 2-3 jobs. And that's why the people, the cooks who were working there had 2-3 jobs, and they were living like in a trailer with other people, and everybody gives a little bit in there. That's the reality of their life. So give me a break. We've never been able to pass a minimum wage law in the US. People are still getting paid $7 and whatever that minimum wage is. And you wonder why there is poverty? And other countries have increased the minimum wage because everything has gotten more expensive. You can't expect people to, you know, have a good life on minimum wage. So only salt and pepper. with the Swiss chard and a squeeze of lemon. That's all I'm doing to it. Oh, so pretty. Beautiful. I have the lemon here. All right. Couple more minutes. I was checking the... thank you, Graham. That is so kind of you. You have a kitty. It's a cute kitty. Oh, wow. It cooks so fast. It's so fragrant. Look how beautiful it looks. Oh, my goodness. I have Swiss chard. You got spinach. That's okay. But listen, the Swiss chard looks amazing. I'm gonna squeeze some lemon juice. That's it. Eso. Yum. Beautiful. Oh my God, that cooked even faster than spinach. Okay. So we're gonna cook the egg in here. We're gonna get our coffee pretty soon. All right, let's get the biscotti out. All right. All right. All right, can you guys see? Okay, good. Now I need my serrated knife. The knife with teeth, the serrated knife. Minimum wage, roommate lifestyle is inhumane. Chef greedy could. I know. Now that chef was making over $100,000, and we were making $8, and that was more than minimum wage at the time, and that was years ago. And that minimum wage is the same. Okay, so you see, when you get your, you just go down on. Okay, you just go easy. Okay, now we're gonna put it back in there. Okay. All right. Oh, it tastes so yummy. Now, biscottis can become addictive, okay? I'm just telling you, I'm warning you. And I know it's not gonna help me because I'm gonna be dipping in my coffee. All right, so let's get the water ready for the coffee. We'll do the eggs. Right now, I need to do the chocolate. Now see, I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm supposed to have something to melt the chocolate in. Nothing up here will work. When you're melting chocolate, you're supposed to have like something metal to melt it on top of the boiling water. Let's see. What do I have that I can use? Oh, okay. I know what I can do. It's not the best thing, but I'm gonna sit this on here. But usually if you have like a metal pan, and then you put it up here because you don't ever want to cook the chocolate in the pan itself. You just have the hot water that's going to melt it. That's the best I can do right now, which is not ideal, but you got to make it work somehow. I thought I had a smaller pan, but you know, I don't have my stuff from home. So this is the best that I have. We're gonna make sure this boils fast. Got the egg. All right. So I'm also going to roast a tomato. That's another thing. We used to do a Sunday brunch at the restaurant, and then we used to roast a bunch of Roma tomatoes. Oh, that's amazing. But I'm going to roast this one in the pan, just some slices, a couple of slices, and then salt, pepper. That's it. Two slices of tomatoes. That's it. Oh, we have a banana. Oh, we're gonna have a nice looking plate. All right. I should have put my water in for my chocolate first, but yes. What type of tomato? This is just a regular tomato, but you could use a Roma tomato and then you slice them lengthwise. You could do that, and you could put them in the oven with salt and pepper. That's the way we used to roast them, but I'm just gonna roast mine up here in the pan. And then we have the Swiss chard. I'm gonna have some bananas. I was gonna put some pineapple, but banana and pineapple are the same color, so we're gonna do one or the other. We're gonna stick to the banana. And then the biscotti will be our bread that we're gonna dip in the chocolate, if I can make it work. Yes, we gotta boil that water and then melt a little bit of chocolate, you know, up here. Hopefully it works. Now, the quality of chocolate is really important because this is a local chocolate, so I'm not hopeful that everything will come out okay, but I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Okay? All right, so what we're gonna do over here, I'm gonna set my area where I'm going to put my finished product here. So I don't know why, but the little girl just stopped working today. Oh, now she is working. Okay. So this is our plate. We're gonna put our egg, our Swiss chard, bananas, tomatoes, and then, ooh, okay, all right. Let's put the chocolate on here and see if that works. It's dark chocolate. It's not milk chocolate. Okay. And then we're gonna do the tomatoes right. Oh, no, sorry. We'll roast the tomatoes. See if that works. And 1 cup for chocolate. We're gonna put the biscotti in one. And I have this little thing here that I used to have at the restaurant. That's what we used to put our creamer in. So I'm thinking of putting the chocolate sauce in here and see if that works. Like I said, I'm not making promises with this melted chocolate. It's starting to melt. Fingers crossed. All right, so we're gonna put our tomatoes down. Salt and pepper, and that's it. Then we're gonna get the water going for our, ooh. I think I should take my biscotti out now. Biscotti. So I'm gonna leave them in the oven. I turn the oven off, but just everything crisp up because the biscotti is supposed to be really crunchy. Okay? Are you putting all these in a book with recipe? That would be nice, right? Turn water down to a simmer. Carla. Oh, thank you. Well, it's melting. Yay. All right. When I make it for the holidays, you can put it in a piping bag and then you just go across the biscotti, which is nice. All right. Salt and pepper. It certainly doesn't look like dark chocolate, but we'll take it. All right. Put the Swiss chard down. I love the Swiss chard. Oh my goodness. It cooks so fast. All right. So 1 egg. Spatula. I remember at the restaurant where people used to come and they're like, 2 eggs over easy, over hard, over medium. So this is the chocolate sauce. So I'm just gonna put them in, put it in this little container here, and we're just gonna dip the biscotti in. That is so cool. And I want you to know, all these ideas just came. All right. So, the coffee. I remember, I don't, all right. Here's our egg. I think it needs to cook just a little bit. People who like their eggs soft, I don't. But for someone's benefit, I'll leave it face up, okay? It's gonna look good on the in the pictures. So I don't have a coffee maker because I don't drink coffee that much, but this is my brand, Danita. I was telling you, Duran. This is Duran coffee. So we're gonna do like a little latte. All right, just put the egg down. Ooh, beautiful. And I have some monk fruit that I use in terms instead of sugar. It comes like in a little Splenda. Then I'm gonna put some of my evaporated milk. Then we're gonna froth. Where is my frother? Okay, up there it is. Ow! Oh, Maggie, that's too. Ooh, why is it splashing? It's too strong. I've used it in the past. It didn't make so much noise. So I guess I need to have a deeper cup. It's too brushy. I used it in the past. It didn't do that. All right, I have to hold it. Trying to make some foam. But you know what? I have my little cup here. I know that's what I used to use at the restaurant. Let's try that. Yep. All right, so don't do it like I did. You got to have a cup to make the froth. Okay. I use this cup at the restaurant to make the latte, so you're gonna have to have one of those to make the froth. Oh my goodness. Here it goes. Okay. All right. Now for the pièce of résistance. The pièce of resistance, the biscotti. Behold the biscotti. So, just gonna put some in here. Hi guys. Oh, it's right here next to the chocolate sauce. And now we need just to add the bananas. And we are ready. We are done with this breakfast session. Reminds me of plantains. Okay. So if I wanted, I could put the pineapple in there. Do you guys want to see the pineapple? So, this is my breakfast today. I think I will put some pineapples in here. Now the pineapples here in Panama are on another level, okay? They are so sweet. And I can eat that every day and every day. Oh, that looks so nice. So biscotti with A frothy latte. Mmm. 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 The chocolate. Let's see. Chocolate. Mmm. 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 Mm-hmm. Bon appetit to me. Breakfast. Okay. Eating is a privilege. Biscotti came out really good. Yes, sir. Yes, you are a troll. Thank you. Piña, see. Very healthy. And they're so sweet here. My gosh. And you get a piña for $1. I used to get 2 for $1. Now they're down to $1. I'm like, that's okay. I'll take it. But anyway, so this is what I wanted to do, something different today, you guys. I hope you enjoy that. And you can get the froth. But just remember, you see how I did it in this cup and it kind of splashed? Make sure you have something a little deeper and to do it. Open the door. You make me hungry. And see, it's not hard to make the foam. Hi guys. Oh, you came to the end. I'll post the recipe in the comments of the live, okay? And you guys, you see how long it took? It didn't take that long at all. It was really fast. So anybody can make that. All right, you have a good day, guys. God loves you. Bye-bye.